Welcome back, everyone, to the Rooted Lifestyle Podcast. We're your hosts, Justus and Camryn Woods. I flipped it this time.
You're looking at me like you don't know what to say, and then
I was like,
oh,
do I say Camryn
it.
and Justus? Do I say?
Yep, you're flipping it. Well,
Justus
we're back,
and Camryn.
guys. Sorry that we couldn't record a podcast last weekend. We were actually out of town.
Where were we?
We were at College Station, Texas for the Auburn A&M game.
Gig'em.
No.
Eagles.
Literally, absolutely not. We're the Tigers, Justus.
So, for those of you who may not know, Camryn went to Auburn.
War Eagle.
My best friend, one of my best men.
Shout out Reed.
Shout out Reed. He went to Texas A&M. So we've made it kind of like a yearly thing to visit Texas A&M. Last year we went for Halloween.
The year before the Auburn game. Next year, I guess Halloween.
Next year, I guess it'll be Halloween. We'll just flip back and forth between them. But yeah, it was a great time. We got back very late. Did not have time to do the podcast during the week because it was a busy week.
Yeah, your job is just crazy.
Yeah, but
we're back.
We're back, and we have a special one for you guys because we experienced this coming back last week a little bit. But what will we be talking about today?
So we thought that it'd be fitting since we were kind of sick last weekend. From the weekend, last week we were sick. And entering into the fall winter season, people start to get sick. So we're going to talk about natural ways to really help boost your immune system. We also recognize that there's a time and a place for modern medicine, so we'll be talking about that as well. But there are so many things you can do, even starting today, that can help boost your immune system so that you don't get sick. Because let's be honest, no one has time to get sick. No one has time to just lay on the couch for a week straight.
Yeah.
No one, because
a week is a long time. I wish I could lay on the couch for a week
I know
straight.
you do. I wish you could too. But yeah, no one has time for it. So we're going to help you guys out and just give you guys things that have worked for us. And I think especially for me, growing up in a house who surrounded by people who have had like thyroid disease, autoimmune diseases, we have just found these more natural ways to boost our immune system, help our bodies, because our immune systems are lower than the average based off of those diseases. So we have lots of content for you guys, which we're excited about.
Yeah, and it's also, this is an important topic mainly too, because our society today, like the pushing of like, you know, steroids, antibiotics, kind of like you go to the doctor and they just prescribe you medication. They can prescribe you a shot just to feel better, to the quick fix. And there's definitely a time and a place for that. Obviously, like we're not anti-Western medicine. We're not those people. So we're not saying never take a ibuprofen or never take a shot, because like obviously there are times when you need it, but I think it's important to understand too of it's not, you don't always have to run to that as your initial thought of when you get sick. And a lot of the things that you can do beforehand to kind of prepare your immune system will help when you do get sick, to let your body actually do what it's designed to do, which is help you.
Absolutely. And it's really cool because my dad is actually a doctor, and so it's fun to be with my mom, who has really battled with immune system things, and she's just found all of these natural holistic ways to boost her immune system. And like seeing my dad's response and not him being like, you need to take this medication, like that would help you, but actually him realizing like, yes, there's a time and a place for modern medicine, and it is very necessary and it has saved so many people's lives, but also seeing that doing these holistic things has like helped my mom and myself and so many people that we know. So it's really cool. It's like live in a household, or I don't anymore, which is sad, but not sad. It's a happy sad. But it was cool growing up with that kind of surrounding me all the time. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the daily things that you can do. Yeah. Just, you know, to live better, all of those good things. So the first thing you can do, eating whole foods and staying hydrated. It sounds super basic, super basic, but it makes sense because like we said before, we've stressed the importance of eating a balanced diet and eating whole foods because you get so many of those natural vitamins and minerals. Yeah. And staying hydrated will flush out a lot of the virus or toxins or whatever's in your body, the bacteria that's making you feel sick. So staying hydrated is really, really important always, but especially if you're sick. No, yeah. Water is like very important. I don't know if this has anything to do with the immune system. I forgot, but like even my strength coach, like I remember when I was being recruited and he would tell us like, you know, usually when you go into college, like players are like, oh, I'm going to get big, I'm going to get huge and stuff like that. And he's like, all you kids, you just want to take your supplements and stuff and get big and do all this. He's like, but let me ask you something. Like when you wake up in the morning, like what do you do? Like, do you drink water? Like he like actually like made us like drink like a huge thing of water. I didn't do it. He made us drink like a huge thing of water. Dude. Like he told us to like every single morning. Cause like water is just so healthy and beneficial for your body, for like muscle recovery, for everything. Like immune system, for literally everything. So like your body's how much percent water? 60?
some crazy
fact
number.
check me on that. I could be so wrong.
I can look it up right now.
Yeah, look it up. I'm actually curious. But that is so fascinating. And it makes sense. This is totally a side note. We did not plan on talking about this. But, just we love doing our thing.
What percent?
It is very important when you wake up in the morning, like your strength coach said, to chug water because your body has gone hours without any hydration. And so you're so
60%. Wow.
I was right. I know what I'm talking about sometimes, guys. I promise.
Yeah, you should be a doctor.
No, I should not be a doctor. I would not do well with that. But thank you. I appreciate the support. But yes, drink water. Seriously, so important. And when you're choosing whether to make grilled chicken at home or go out and get Chick-fil-A, just go ahead and make the extra effort of cooking them with the oils that making it how you like it, and just putting in a little more effort to get those natural nutrients instead of going, and no harm. I love Chick-fil-A. I literally love Chick-fil-A. But I'm just saying, eat the whole foods, try and stick within a normal diet because that's only going to help you. It's literally never going to harm you to eat a balanced and well-rounded diet. So yeah, that's number one. Justus, what's number two?
Number two, and we've talked about this before, but getting enough sleep, something that a lot of people do not do, but it's very, very important.
So important.
We did a previous podcast on sleep. So if you have not seen that, I would highly recommend going back and watching. We talk about morning and nighttime routines to actually help with your sleep. But it's just very, very vital to your health and your immune system that your body needs time to recover, like your cells and your muscles, your tissues, they need time to recover. And that's, they recover mostly during that phase of sleep period that you're in. So
absolutely,
getting sleep is very important.
And it makes sense because when you go to the doctor and you're okay, I have a virus and there's no medicine you can take for a virus. There's only things that you can supplement to really help, but we'll get into that later. But their number one suggestion is stay hydrated and sleep. Yeah. Just lay on the couch, lay low for a day or two until you're feeling better. And it makes sense because your body needs that rest. Your body is in a constant state of fighting to try and get out the bacteria or whatever's making you sick. And so your body needs to save that energy to fight it off instead of expelling it mentally or physically or anything like that.
Can I just say that and I mentioned this to you before, that I feel like COVID has done a lot in terms of it's been beneficial in terms of we have new technology now, like Zoom and stuff where we can have meetings online and everything. But before COVID, when you were sick, you were able to just stay at home and rest and sleep. Now people expect you to still work when you have I've had people on my job who've had COVID and they're working during while they had COVID. I got COVID and I did not work, but a lot of people,
you were on your deathbed literally.
A lot of people are they work during this time because of the Zoom and everything like that. So I don't know. I just wanted to say that because
it's true. It's so different than it was when we were in high school.
It's difficult now. I'll just say it's difficult to actually take time and rest because everything is online and you just can't get away because you don't have to be at the physical location to take a part in whatever it is you're doing.
Right. Even, I think it was 2 weeks ago that I was sick just randomly during one of the days and I was on a training over Zoom, like you said, and I was on there for 6 hours and I literally missed probably 2 hours of meetings and I couldn't tell them I'm getting sick. I can't be at my computer. They just expected me to know the information. And I was that is so tough.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't be by my computer because I was sick.
It's sad.
It is sad, but I mean, obviously try and work with it, but resting, it's very, very important. Your body needs it. We're built to rest and we're built to work and be active. So it's just finding the balance. We're all about balance here. But on the topic of balance and what I was saying about rest, you also can be physically active during the week, or always just be physically active because that can really help boost your immunity. Any type of activity. You can be walking, running, jogging, lifting, anything that's really getting your cardiovascular system working, lifting weights. It's helping. And there are studies that have shown that it can help.
So is this before you work out? I mean, I'm sorry, before you're sick or after? Because I've always wrestled with understanding
when to work out.
Working out when you're sick is a good thing.
Yeah. So I think So I would suggest also, we didn't say this at the beginning of the podcast, this is all our own recommendation. We're not doctors, like we've said before. So I am telling
Except for the 60% water thing. That was
true. That was a fact.
That was a fact.
And we've researched. So we're not just literally saying this because we want to. We're researching it. But what I'm about to say to you is what I think works best for me. You have to listen to your body. I think any doctor would tell you that. You need to listen to your body. So if you wake up on a Monday and you're wow, I don't feel good at all, don't work out that day. Maybe see how you feel later in the day, go on a walk. But if you wake up and you're okay, you do this all the time. You wake up and you're like, I was exhausted. I didn't feel good. I think I'm getting sick, but you go to the gym anyways. And I don't know if that's the best option because you are expelling so much energy in the gym and your body is trying to fight off whatever disease or infection that you have. So I think you're just exhausting yourself more. But I understand because you're the type who's like, that's my time. Like I love the gym. I love being there every day. And I totally understand that.
Yeah, I think, and it's hard because you don't know the severity of the like sicknesses that you may have. Because when I had COVID and I didn't know I had COVID and I went to the gym, I felt terrible after working out. But there are some times when I work out and I feel like allergies and stuff like that. It just opens up my nasal passages, and I'm like,
allergies
I
are
feel
different.
Great. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to know your body.
You have to know your body and realize like, okay, this may be something a little bit more serious than like a normal cold or like a normal allergy symptom. And
sure.
I did not. And
no, you're not one that's going to listen. Also, side note, if you guys are watching us on YouTube, do you like our fall decor that Justus has kind of ruined with his arm? But
oh man, let's fix that real quick.
The cutie little orange blanket and a cute little brown pillow. We just had to add some additions because it's fall and I'm happy about it. Besides the point. So yes, I think that you really have to listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you what you need. Your body knows you best. And if you're exhausted, don't work out. Just see how you feel later. Maybe go outside and sit in the sun because vitamin D is super important for boosting that immunity. So go outside and sit in the sun. Go outside and go on a 5 to 10 minute walk, a really slow walk. Yeah. I think those are all things that are very, very important. Yeah. So those are our 3 daily habits that you can start today.
And along those lines, I think, eating the right foods, drinking water, getting sleep, exercising. There's also the supplement aspect, vitamins and minerals, which we also have another episode. So go back and watch that as well. We break down kind of like the key foundational vitamins, things like that. But there are certain daily supplements you can take, like vitamin C, zinc, NAC, elderberry, things that will help with your immune system and give you that extra boost that maybe, okay, you're not getting it fully in your diet and what you're eating, then you can supplement that with, the vitamins that you take. Yeah,
perfect example. I think that when we got back from last weekend and we were exhausted, we were tired, we murdered our immune systems with just lack of sleep. We got back and we went to Whole Foods and we got those emergency packets. Yeah. They're not the best things in the world, but they're a cheaper option for sure. And we take like 2 to 3 a day if we're really starting to feel bad. And they can upset your stomach, like taking too much vitamin C can upset your stomach. That's a known fact. But they just help. It's just like that little bit of a boost that you may need.
What is that
what are you about to
spray
say?
That we get? That thing really helped me when we got back from A&M.
I don't know.
It's like a mouse spray.
It's a mouse spray.
It looks like a breast spray. You spray it like 5 times. It actually says like immune system booster.
I think it's something about a bee or honey. It's a yellow little spray
from Whole Foods.
We'll try to attach it in like.
Should I look up yellow little spray from Whole Foods?
Oh man. But yeah, you were taking that because your throat was hurting.
Yeah.
I didn't take it because it tastes really bad. I was like, I'm a weenie. I don't want to take it. But yes, that stuff works too. There's so many little things. That is one thing that I do love about Whole Foods. Whenever you go to their supplements, minerals, vitamins section, they really do have a lot. Of course, read the ingredients because they can put a lot of fillers in there like every company can. Wasn't that it, the first one?
No, this is like a dropper thing.
Look up Whole Foods. Oh, you did look up Whole Foods. Right there.
Oh, yes. Here it is.
Honeybee. What is it? Beekeepers Natural.
Oh, this is a kid's one.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the same brand. Beekeepers Natural Immune Support. It's a little spray. It's really good for your throat, but it's also really good just for inflammation anywhere. So like if you have excess bacteria in your mouth, like it can help with your nose, your throat, like all the things. So really good. Highly suggest.
What is in this? 4 ingredients. Bee propolis extract.
Oh, buddy.
Buckwheat honey. Non-GMO vegetable glycerin, and purified water.
Gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, yeast-free, sugar-free. I'm dead. That's awesome. Egg-free. It's
but
everything
this stuff
free.
Actually really helps me.
Yeah.
And I took it when I forgot when my throat was. Oh yeah, when I had that like bacterial infection thing.
Justus has been through it.
I've been through the ringer this last.
And you know
months.
why? You haven't been sleeping.
It's true. I haven't been sleeping. I've been waking up and working out, exhausting my body, and I haven't. And I've always.
We're onto something.
And I've told you that I've felt more because this period of time in my life probably is when I've gotten like the least amount of sleep.
Right.
And
even after football, you've gotten less sleep now than with football.
with football, it was never very late nights. That's the issue.
That's true.
That's the thing. It's early mornings, but you were never up until like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Unless you were like,
and you're like
unless
exhausting
you're doing
your
that
brain
to yourself.
Working. Like you're exhausting your brain at 12 or 1 a.m. So that's fine.
And I was telling you this, but every single time we come back from like a long weekend somewhere with like all our friends, like we go out and stuff, I come back and I feel absolutely terrible because my body is just like shut down. And
yeah, you're like a lab rat of you need to sleep. And if you don't, this is what happens. I'm serious. Yeah. You've had bacterial infections. You've had COVID. You've had a lot going on. And like, I'm always sick. And have I been to the doctor since I've moved here?
No.
For a sickness? No.
I have like 3 times since you've moved here. Maybe you're the problem. Maybe I'm sick. Maybe I'm allergic to you.
Thanks, honey.
I was fine.
That's a problem.
I was fine before.
Honey, no, literally stop it right now. You are funny. Anyways, I'm not the problem. Yeah. I'm not the problem. But the emergency packets, what I was saying, and then the beekeeper spray, those are 2, and elderberry. Those are 3 things that we can get from Amazon, Whole Foods, wherever. And they're just like, oh, Justice feels sick. I'm going to go to the store really quick and go get them if we don't have them here. Yeah. And they're great. Obviously, read the recommended dosage, call a doctor, call a friend who may know. But I would say with vitamin C and zinc and NAC, we take those, we always take them once a day. But when we start feeling sick, we take them 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah.
And obviously these are not magic bullets where you take a vitamin C pack and you feel perfectly okay. These are Absolutely things that are these help your immune system in your body fight the infection. So it may take a little bit longer. Honestly, most medications besides like we'll go into I think antibiotics and steroids in a little bit, but the normal medications and stuff is just masking the pain or masking the like reducing the
they
inflammation.
All have like Tylenol to reduce the inflammation.
But it's not it doesn't fix the underlying problem. So this really just gets to like the root, like taking supplements, doing the daily things really gets to the underlying issue, which is like your immune system. Yeah. You need the fact that you need to boost it in order for your body to fight these infections and viruses.
Absolutely. So you said we're going to talk about steroids and antibiotics. Let's get into that.
Steroids and antibiotics. Obviously, there's different
antibiotics.
Antibiotic.
Antibiotic. Okay. Anyways.
Antibiotics. Antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Just say it really fast.
Antibiotics.
Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. Talk about antibiotics.
So there are different tiers of being sick, and just like there's different tiers of being sick, there's different tiers of medication you can take. So like we talked about the cold, flu medicine. And then there's more stronger ones like your steroids and antibiotics.
Now I'm gonna like overanalyze the way that I say that word through the podcast.
I think right now we're just gonna be focusing on the antibiotics and the steroids.
Yeah.
Because we like take over the counter medicine.
We do. I take Advil when I need it.
We take allergy medicines when we need it. So like I said, we're not anti-Western medicine.
100% a time and a place for all of these things.
Yeah.
We just want people to know that there are other options besides antibiotics and steroids and over-the-counter stuff.
Yeah. So obviously it's good to just understand and know that you don't always need to run to antibiotics or steroids immediately when you have an issue. Obviously, there are some people who may need it at the time. I needed it for when I literally couldn't swallow.
Yeah, you had a bacterial infection.
Yeah, my throat was literally closing. I couldn't swallow. So I know, we know that there are times when people need it, but it's important to understand that these medications do not fully solve the problem. They could actually have negative side effects that can make things worse for your immune system down the road when you develop other like bacterial infections or things like that.
Yeah. And so we'll go through kind of the side effects and everything like that. But I think the most important point we want to get across, yes, if you're taking steroids or antibiotics, take them if you need them. But you really have to work double as hard after you're done with that to build up your immune system, because immediately after finishing those things, your immune system is shot. Yeah. And so you have to build it back up or else you're just going to get sick again. And it's just a repeating cycle. And it's hard because no one really knows. It's not really talked about. So I'm glad that we have the space to talk about it on our podcast. But yes, let's start with antibiotics. So we know that they're used to kill bacteria, treat bacterial infections, but they actually don't treat viruses. I don't know if a lot of people know that. It's like a common cold. They're not going to treat that. They don't touch viruses. There's actually nothing you can do not nothing. there's no medication you can do to solve the virus issue. Yeah. They're just like over the counter things like you said that you can do and just rest and fluids and all the things. But this is why it's so important to know that when you're using them, you don't want to take too much of them or like too little of them, and they can actually damage your immune system like you were saying.
Yeah. So they do kill the bad bacteria in your body and your gut, but they also kill the good bacteria as well.
All of your bacteria.
So
which is horrifying.
Your body produces good bacteria in like your gut lining to help prevent the bad bacteria from like taking over. So
absolutely.
If you kill all the good bacteria, then you have nothing left. So that's why it's important for when you take antibiotics to make sure you're not taking too much. You're not taking it when you don't need it, and you're not taking too much of it, because it can seriously destroy the good bacteria in your body, which will make it worse for you further down the line, and honestly make you more reliant on antibiotics. And it makes you it makes you have to up the doses because you become resistant to it. But
it's scary. And there's another thing with antibiotics, if you have to finish the dose, that's something. Once you start them, you have to go all the way through and finish them, or else the bacteria can come back worse because you didn't clear out all the bacteria. Yeah. So it's also very important. And of course, your doctors will tell you that. But one thing that I have learned, shout out to my mom, is that while taking antibiotics, you also can be helping by taking probiotics. So probiotics are really, really good for your gut lining, digestive system, all of those things. And antibiotics destroy your digestive system and your gut lining. So you have to be very careful about when you take them, because they can counteract each other, which you don't want to do that, obviously. And I have heard you have to wait a minimum of 2 hours. So if I take my antibiotic at 8 a.m., I can't take a probiotic until 10 a.m. Very important to notice. And it depends on if you're taking an antibiotic morning and night. You really have to like do the math behind it. Or if you're just taking it once a day, then maybe you take your probiotic at night if you're taking the antibiotic in the morning. But you definitely have to give time in between the two to let them both work their magic.
Yeah, and probiotics can come in the form of, they have pills, they have probiotic, like little juice shot things.
Yes. I just take the pill daily. Yeah.
You can get probiotics from like kombucha, we've said, fermented foods, things like that. So there's a lot of different ways to get the good bacteria that's from probiotics.
And a little thing on probiotics, just really quick. There's of course good brands, bad brands, whatever. From my experience, my ones that I love the most, and this is not sponsored, I truly just love them the most. I need to order some. Just Thrive. That brand has the best probiotics that I have used. I genuinely feel so good. I'm not bloated. They help so much when I'm taking antibiotics or when I'm sick, and I just love them. So if you're looking for a good probiotic and you're willing to put in the effort and the money, go get Just Thrive, because they're great. But sorry, what were you going to say?
Nothing. You got it.
Oh no, did I ruin your thought process?
No, I wasn't. I don't think I was going to say anything, but yeah, I agree with you that.
Okay.
Do we have Just Thrive?
No, I'm actually going to order some after this.
I was like,
what is that?
I was agreeing with you. Like, yeah, we take it all the time. But then I was like, wait, what?
You don't take probiotics, do you?
I don't remember taking it.
I have some in the fridge. I used to take
probiotics at home. We just don't have. It's really like supplements are very expensive, guys.
So I was looking at them.
You really have to pick and you really have to pick and choose. I mean, obviously we're picking and choosing, or we have been, but I guess now we're gonna get probiotics too. But
we are, because I need them, because my tummy always hurts, and I'm like, come on, I need help. And they'll help if I ever need to take antibiotics. They just help a lot,
Yeah. Well, in terms of overuse of antibiotics, it can, like I mentioned before, it can make you become resistant, or it can make the bacteria in your body, the bad bacteria, become resistant to
like if you're taking them a lot.
Yeah. So if you're taking them a lot, taking them too often,
like week after week, month after month,
your the bad bacteria in your body can actually become resistant to it, so it doesn't work.
Yeah. Then you have to get a higher dose,
and then you have to get a higher dose.
Side effects are worse.
It's interesting because I was doing research on this, and it's like prevalent in both humans and in livestock. So farmers have an issue when there's bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics, like basically plaguing like their livestock, because they have to start giving these animals these like stronger antibiotics so they don't get sick, because if the sickness is going around, that it'll kill all the animals. So they have to up the doses, which basically creates a cycle of like, they become more resistant, and then all the antibiotics filled in the livestock and the food that we eat. So
I was about to say, you need to be very careful of the meat that you get.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of why. I know we've stressed that before, that we eat organic and grass-fed and not, what's the ocean with the salmon with wild caught?
What's the ocean with the salmon?
I can't believe I just said that out loud. Oh my gosh. Not farm raised or whatever, but
the ocean with the salmon.
Oh gosh. Yes. Oh man.
But yeah, so that's that resistant, that like bacteria being resistant to antibiotics is prevalent in like all living things, for like livestock, humans. So you just have to be cautious of that. If you're taking it too much, you're really not benefiting yourself. You're really just creating more resistant bacteria in your body.
So of course, like we've said probably 5 times already, time and a place for antibiotics. Definitely a fallback though. Like I have gone to the doctor and I've been like, I just don't feel good. What do I do? They've prescribed me antibiotics. And I'm like, I'm going to try to do all of the things that I know, fight it off. If I don't feel better in 2 to 3 days, then or if I'm getting very much so worse, then I'll start taking the antibiotics. Yeah. But just listen to your body. You know yourself. And it's scary because you may not be able to you can't see the harmful effects necessarily of taking antibiotics. Yeah. But you might just be like, oh, my stomach hurts. That's weird. But it could be because of the antibiotics. You just don't know. So it's tough. It's a toughie. It's like eating bad food may not necessarily make you feel bad in the moment, but it may make you feel bad
down the line.
Yeah, definitely. So after antibiotics, steroids. Yes, because those are another option. So I was kind of confused when I first heard, oh, I'm going to go get a steroid. And I was like, but nothing's wrong with your body. It's like an internal, like a virus, bacteria type of thing. And so I was confused because I thought you would just get a steroid for like joint pain.
Yeah, but you can get steroids for anything, because basically what steroids, they reduce inflammation and they help with pain. So your body could get inflamed from like a virus or something like that. Like your respiratory system gets inflamed from like an infection.
I was gonna say, when I was researching steroids, they really only use it for the upper part of your body. So like if you put it anywhere upper, it can help with your nose congestion or throat irritation, respiratory, like you just said. So it's really only used for that. So it could help with symptoms of the common cold, but I feel like obviously antibiotics are used way more and steroids are not, but some of the side effects I was looking into with steroids are very scary.
Well, steroids don't they're just a stronger like Advil. They don't get rid of, if you have an infection, then getting an antibiotic actually gets rid of the problem. It just also may create some more problems, but with a steroid, it's just basically relief from pain.
Yeah, and I get that. And so, of course, if you really need it, obviously do it. But it's interesting talking about inflammation because we've talked so much about how to get inflammation down in your body, and it just takes time and it takes effort and it's a lot of hard work. And I know people want the easy answer because obviously it's the easiest way out. It's possibly the cheapest way out, but you really can lower inflammation through diet, through stress, through sleep, through so many things. And I just say, give it a shot and try these more natural, holistic ways of healing your body before jumping into antibiotics or steroids. But that is just my opinion, and you can have a different opinion than me. So,
yeah. Anything else on steroids or?
I don't think so. I mean, some of the quick side effects you can have with steroids are obviously weight gain, which is really interesting to me. It makes you hungrier. I don't really understand the science behind that, but weight gain, nausea. I think you can have like constipation, indigestion, and sleep problems are a big thing with steroids. But I mean, people need them. That's why they're here. So those are just my thoughts. But yeah.
So what are the alternatives to antibiotics or steroids? Like you're sick and you're like, okay, you're telling me not to have you're telling me not to take steroids, you're telling me not to take antibiotics, which by the way, we're not telling you not to, we're just telling you
there's other options if you could try them first.
Yeah, we're telling you what it actually does to your body, because it's not a magic pill. And that's kind of to answer the question. Unfortunately, there is no magic pill that will help and get rid of everything. Like, the alternative to antibiotics is not like, oh, we'll take this natural thing that'll do the exact same thing and there'll be no side effects.
Yeah.
The alternative is your body. Your body was designed to help to fight off these infections, to fight off bacteria. It was designed to cure and to heal itself. So the thing that we can do is help it. That's the best thing that we can do, is to help our immune system the best way that we can. Right.
And I think it's really hard and frustrating because you want to start doing all these healthy things when you feel like you're getting sick, but you could do them today and it happens way before. So if you do them today and you continue it throughout your life, you're going to get sick less, hopefully, or you're just going to have a higher immune system, more energy. This is all just things that will only help you. They will never harm you. Yeah. So it's very important. It's also frustrating because it is a long process. Like vitamins take a long time to build up in the system, depending if they're water soluble or fat soluble and all of those things. So it's a long process, but it's worth it when it comes to your health.
Yeah. So it's just sticking to the daily, like, you know,
the daily habits
that we had said.
Yep.
I'm sure there are like other few things that you can do as well. But it's basically just doing the daily things to help build up your immune system in your body so that when these things do come, you'll fight against it. Obviously, if it's really serious and you do need a steroid or you do need antibiotics, by all means take it. But we would caution against being reliant on it. And I think that's the thing we want to stress is don't be reliant on it, because it doesn't fix you completely. It can cause more harm than good in the long term, even though initially it may feel like it's helping.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just to paraphrase, those three things that we talked about were eating whole foods and staying hydrated, getting enough sleep and enough rest. And then the last one was, oh my goodness.
Sleep and activity.
Oh, physical activity. I'm like, Justus, help me out. And you're just staring at me. I was like, please help. And he did it. Okay, you saved the day.
Physical activity.
The thing we're about to go do. We're going to go to the gym after this.
Leg day.
I'm so excited. But yeah, I mean, like we said, not doctors. These are just our suggestions. Of course, if you are in a different situation, listen to your doctor. Don't listen to us. But just there are a lot of ways that we can help our bodies that don't include medicine. The intense stuff. So we hope this gave you guys some encouragement. Maybe today, starting today, or whenever you listen to this podcast, you will take some of those things, maybe get more serious about your sleep or the way that you eat or the way that you just live your life and take care of your body, because it's very, very important down the road. And right now it's hard because we're young. And so we're like, oh, I'll get better really quick. But in 40 years, we won't, because our immune systems are just tanking.
So take the steps today, because your immune system will thank you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good one, Justus. That's a really good
one.
Trademark
that. Copyright it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we're happy to be back, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.